try my best to hopefully show you all why Yoodli is worth it. Big thank you to everyone for having me here. I'll start with my introduction. That's the boring part, but hopefully it'll give you my dream, my mission, the idea behind Yoodli. Then I'd love to show you a live demonstration of how the platform works. And I'm really hoping it can help District 106 members. And then from there, I'd love for this to be a free-form discussion. Ask me any questions. Nothing is off bar. Varun, what about privacy? Is AI going to take our jobs? Can AI help me win the world championship? This platform sucks. I'm happy to address anything. Awesome. So about me, my name is Varun. I grew up in India. I came to the US for college. Right after college, I worked at Google, where I ran special projects for Sergey Brin, who's one of the founders of Google. It was an amazing job right after college. I learned a lot. From there, I moved over to Google X. Google X is a sister company to Google that works on a lot of early stage research and development projects, things like the self-driving car or balloon-powered internet or robotics-related projects. When I was at Google X, I worked on an early project where we were using invisible lasers to bring internet to unconnected places in the world. So before this, I lived in sub-Saharan Africa. But I recently quit all of that to start Yoodli. Now, I give you my backstory just so you know why we started Yoodli. I also talk way too quickly, and Yoodli is going to point this out, but there's so much I'd like to cover. My dream behind Yoodli is there are so many people in the world, especially immigrants, introverts, non-native English speakers, who don't get the opportunities they deserve because they don't back themselves while speaking. We've been this person, we know this person, right? Think about that mid-career professional who feels stuck, who's designed the slides, but the extrovert gives the presentation and then gets the A grade or the promotion. Or the kid in India who deserves a Google job way more than me, but isn't going to look you in the eye during the interview because, heck, we didn't learn public speaking growing up. Or any of us, the night before a presentation. This could be a pathway speech, a district contest, all the way to the World Championship of Public Speaking. As we talk out loud to a camera, a mirror, a stopwatch, I just think there's got to be a better way. And technology, if created with humility and creativity, might be able to help. I don't think technology alone is the solution, to be very clear. Speaking is nuanced and contextual and spontaneous. However, technology can be just one tool to help uplift people, especially in a judgment-free way. So for those of you all who are familiar with similar technologies, Duolingo has done this for language learning, or Grammarly has done this for writing, where they provide you real-time analytics. My hope is, can we do the same thing with speaking? The goal behind Yoodli is, can we build an artificial intelligence powered platform that gives me real-time, meaningful, personalized, and judgment-free feedback anytime I speak? Varun, you were way more nervous in your introduction compared to your conclusion. Or Varun, you've got to slow down. You talk way too quickly, or you've been rambling for the last 5 minutes, and help me course correct real-time without anybody knowing. That's the idea. That's the dream. We are still early stage. I've been doing this for a little over a year, but we are honored to be partnering with Toastmasters and are rolling out Yoodli to around 300,000 members across the world. We are based out of Seattle, where we've raised a little bit of money. We are backed by Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft. And my dream, and the reason I'm here, is how do I get millions of people loving and using this technology? Because if we do that, we can hopefully make a positive dent in the world. That's my intro stuff. Any questions? Now we'll get into the fun stuff where we actually show you the technology. Okay, if there are any burning questions, feel free to interrupt me, but we can do Q&A at the end as well. Now, in building Yoodli, I have a couple beliefs. Right? My goal is not to make the kid in India talk like Steve Jobs, the white man at TED. In fact, if I've done that, I've likely failed. My goal at Yoodli is not to make people robots either, right? Few filler words are but natural. Repeating yourself is okay. My goal is just to provide you with quantitative, objective data to improve. So in doing so, I've been working with many of the world's most famous speakers and speech coaches, especially former world champions of public speaking. So Craig Valentine, Ed Tate, Mark Brown, Verity Price, several world champions have been working with me for a while to build Yoodli. And it's actually really exciting. Most of the speech contest participants and contestants in last year's championships were also Yoodli users. So it's slowly becoming real. One of the reasons I'm here is Lark was one of the first people I reached out to when I came up with the idea of Yoodli, and she has been incredibly supportive. So Lark, big thank you. We're still hopefully on day one, I hope you believe. But also in that vein, I wanted to ensure that members from District 106 get the chance to make the most of Yoodli, because most other districts have been using the tool in and out. Okie dokie. Now, the way to access Yoodli is to go into your member portal at Toastmasters. You can log in. We've built a Toastmasters specific bespoke experience. So there is a public version of Yoodli that is free of cost, but we highly recommend using the Toastmasters version because that's so tailored to your experience. I'm going to share my screen now and jump into some of the fun stuff. Okay, can folks see my screen? Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, I see Sarah nodding. Awesome. So this is Yoodli, right? The idea is anytime we are speaking, in many ways, we are public speaking. I have a sales call tomorrow. I have a Zoom presentation tomorrow. Oh, I think someone has their hand up. Timer has their hand up. Any questions?
Nope, it's just like,
okay, cool.
So you can see it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So I'm going to come and I'm going to sign in. Look, I'm really nervous. I have my first pathway speech tomorrow. It's frightening. Speaking in front of an audience is absolutely terrifying. I'm going to come and practice on Yoodli. And I'm just going to start with my speech. I'll give a 1-minute speech. Hello, audience. You know, I'm just really excited to talk to you about my pathways speech. I think it's crazy. It's crazy, right, guys, that 2 out of 3 people struggle to speak with confidence. But now I'm getting really, really passionate and I'm moving my hands all over the place. And what if I just told you that we could build technology to help people speak with confidence and give you meaningful, actionable feedback? And I just got to slow down. I talk too quickly and I get too nervous. And okay, the system tells me I'm halfway there. Let me end my speech as an example. That was a sample speech. By no means am I going to win the world championships of public speaking with that. But, you know, we all got to start somewhere. When I'm done, I press save recording, and let's call this practice pathways speech. I've instantly got a transcript of what I've said and a series of analytics on the right. You know, my top keywords, was I on theme? To Sarah's point, right, be remembered to be remarkable. She likely wants a version of that as her top keywords. My repetition, wow, when I'm nervous, I tend to repeat the same words back to back. I don't have a stutter, but I could have paused and I might have done better. My counter, whoa, I had way more filler words than most, and I can see my filler words automatically highlighted. I've got a ways to go. My use of non-inclusive language, right? My goal is never to censor anyone, but is to give you insights on words that could be potentially problematic. Now, you know your audience best, you take a call. Crazy could be considered ableist language, or guys in certain settings could be considered gender non-inclusive. My use of weak words, very basically, totally, kinda, really, actually, I've got to be a little bit more confident when I speak. And then there's a series of more analytics, my pacing, eye contact, body language. You can see exactly where I got nervous and I started talking very quickly. That we could build technology to help people speak with confidence. This is exactly where I've got to stop. And then what I can do is, look, I practice on my own a few times. I build my confidence. I can then share my speech with a mentor. So Ashok, you're on my screen. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you mind giving me your email?
Yeah, absolutely. ashoksunkawali@gmail.com.
Ashok, sorry, how do I spell your last name?
Sunkavali.
Sunkavali@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, I've practiced my speech, but Ashok's my mentor at Toastmasters. I'd say, Ashok, I have a pathways speech tomorrow. So nervous. Oh my God, please help. And the idea is at the click of a button, I can share my speech with Ashok, and then Ashok can go in and give me feedback, confidence, and give you meaningful, actionable feedback. Varun, slow down here. And I just got to slow down. I talk too quickly and I get too nervous, and breathe in and thank the audience. The idea here, as I've said, is Toastmasters is always meant to augment the club experience. And how do we get people to interact with each other more closely? So at the click of a button, I sent my speech to Ashok. No more like recording something, then uploading it, then sending it over Gmail or WhatsApp. It's already in his inbox. And Ashok can go in and leave me timestamped comments. So his comments are linked to specific video frames, right? And this is at 0:31. Just got to slow down. This is at 0:27. And the idea is I could have sent it to 5 people, 10 people, 50 people. And I no longer need to play the video, pause the video, say, where was Ashok saying I should slow down, as an example. So this is one part of Yoodli. Come to Yoodli and practice your speeches as much as you want, and the tool is free of cost. There's a lot more to it, right? I could come to Yoodli and I could record an interview. I could record a table topic speech where I get random questions and I can keep practicing. A lot of people love this the most. Or I could go back and practice for an interview, right? It's the same application, which is I've got an interview tomorrow. Let me practice. Tell me about yourself, why you want to leave this current role. I'll start practicing and I'll instantly get analytics on that part of my speaking. I then have a library where I can track all of my speeches over time. I can share them with colleagues. These are some speeches I did at the Toastmasters Board of Directors meeting, a few I did in Nashville, and I can see my total time, filler words, and much more. I'll show you all 2 more things and then I'll stop. Look, my goal with Yoodli is to help people love the idea of speaking, right? How do I take impromptu speaking and get people to play games and challenge one another? So we've built a series of fun speaking games. My dream here, I haven't cracked it, is can we get people to wake up in the morning and play a fun speaking game to wake up instead of having coffee? So this game is called Spin a Yarn. It's about helping you think quickly on your feet, right? We've all met that one person who's incredibly charming and witty, and it's like, how does this person do it? The idea behind this game is, can we help you do the same? Far too often, we have a presentation ready, but someone interrupts us, or our crush walks into the room, or our manager asks us a question and we lose our train of thought. This game is about incorporating distractions into your everyday speaking. So I'm going to get a topic. I'm going to play level monster. I'm going to get random words. I need to include those words into my story. 3, 2, 1, go. I think social media is awful. It is taking over people's minds and ending our sense of work-life balance. I wish we were all in the same boat where we thought social media was awesome. But there are some people who might be a spy, who might be a teacher, who might be a doctor, who don't agree with me. In fact, I would stand at the top of a building, look like an idiot, and whistle to the entire world. I would tell my friends, men, sportswomen, boats and sailors in the sea, that social media is really bad. You get the gist of it, right? It didn't detect some of my words because I talked way too quickly, but as I include these words into my story, I get points, rod, prose, whistle, comb, and as I include them, I get a score, and when I'm done, I get a score. The tool isn't perfect, but it's getting much better. The last piece of it is, look, we are continuously improving this. My approach to building technology is let me put my version 1 out there. It might break, people might get frustrated. Let me know, and I promise you, I will work really hard to improve it. So if you ever have ideas, please give us feedback in this help channel, and we will keep improving the tool. And if you're loving Yoodli, please send it to your friends. So I'm gonna, because I keep putting Lark on the spot. Lark, what's your email? Is it larkdoley@toastmasters.org?
Actually, it's ldoley@toastmasters.org.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm like,
Thank you.
Lark, you got to join Yoodli, add email, invite, boom, she got an invite. And then the idea is, for people who end up inviting 25 people, we give you a badge, we feature you on our social networks, etc. 2 last pro tips, and then I'm going to stop for sure. The first is we've created a community for Toastmasters members to meet with other coaches, to learn best practices about Yoodli, to talk about speaking. My goal is, how do we build an incredibly fun online community that augments Toastmasters? So I'm going to post the link over here. Feel free to join it. It's Slack. Most people aren't comfortable with it yet. But the idea is, over here, we've got people playing daily table topics games and challenging one another with their scores. We've got ambassadors talking about best practices. And we have many of our top coaches working with clients who are looking to get better. So if you're a client and you want a speech coach, you want to work with, I don't know, Craig, or someone mentioned Patricia or Darren. Not all of them are on our platform, but many of them are. And you can see best practices over here. So I'm going to paste a link to our Slack community. Give me a second. I will paste that in the chat. And then the last thing is, we do recommend using the Toastmaster specific version. There is a public version called Yoodli.ai that has other functionality as well. When you're here, you'll likely be able to see a lot more resources. So if you press on resources and then blog, you'll see examples of posts by many other Toastmasters folks, best practices, etc. So this is a post written by Fred, who's one of our ambassadors in District 13. And Fred talked about how his proteges have been winning their speech contests by practicing with Yoodli. So feel free to check out our blog. The public site also has a lot of other features, such as it integrates into your Zoom calls. So anytime I'm on a Zoom call now, Yoodli gives me feedback. Varun, this week you interrupted women more than men, or you've got to slow down in your manager meeting versus your team meeting. That's Yoodli. Would love your thoughts. Please use it, test it, break it. Let us know how to improve it. And hopefully it helps you improve your public speaking.